You're listening to Stream Mix Radio. The worldwide talk station.
CFMAM Productions.
Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, man. Radio has gotten boring.
Don't worry, we have a procedure for these situations.
Hey! Let's go! Let's go!
Music Lovers Radio and Freestyle Lovers Radio. Radio stations bringing back the fun.
You may take a break.
Not us.
We never take a break. We're always on.
MiamiMikeRadio.com.
Music 24/7.
You're in the mix. In the mix. On Classic 407.
407.
Banging all the hits.
FM.
You're listening to Vibe 24/7. 24/7. Banging all the hits you love. Feel the vibe.
LMC Radio, playing music to touch your heart, and your mind to make you feel good. Powerhouse Radio, your music, your flavor.
FreestyleForever.com.
Latino 407, la emisora donde vive el corazón de nuestra gente.
Moment in my time of need, you came and lifted up my soul. You gave me air to breathe. As I walk the world so aimlessly, you helped me to be found. 'Cause without your light I feel so lost, so dark that I could drown. Heaven has a plan for me. I almost lost my faith. Heaven has a plan for me. Thank God I found my way. Heaven has a plan for me. I almost lost my faith. Heaven has a plan for me. Thank God I found my way. The day I lost my father, a piece of me had died. A hole was left within my heart. No time for foolish pride. I got down on my knees and prayed for you to give me strength. I felt with the impossible, no human heart could take. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Come on, Fred the Edit. Show them what Jesus gave you.
Happy Sunday, everyone. This is Little Marla coming to you live from Extreme Studios and CFMAM Productions in Central Florida. It's the Freestyle Spotlight, the People's Countdown. Our special guest for the LOF series, legendary recording artist, songwriter, and music producer, Sammy Zone. Now here are your hosts, DJ Lex and DJ Noel Nice.
We're going to welcome in producer, songwriter, and legendary singer, Sammy Zone. Sammy, welcome to the show.
Whoa, what's up, Lex? Wow. Long time no speak, man.
I know, it's been a long time, man.
I know, it's been a real long time. Yeah. Oh, boy. Things have changed since the last time we've spoken, so
yeah.
Imagínate. Wow.
Yeah. We still haven't met in person yet, but we've been keeping in touch, you know?
No, didn't we meet once? Did we?
No, we never got. No.
Now you got me thinking.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. Oh,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh, well, look, I mean, I've known you for so many years that, you know, it's almost like, you know, like family. You know, you don't need to see them all the time, but, you know, you pick up where you leave off every time, you know, you guys speak. So that's how I feel with you.
Yeah, Sam. Yeah, we used to be talking all the time on the phone. Remember that?
Yeah, dude. You were my go-to guy, always.
Yeah. All right,
so what's popping?
So I want to get into your bio, and of course, we'll talk about that award we gave it to you at the end of the show, so people can be surprised and see the video of you receiving the award.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
okay. Man. Woo. Okay.
All right. Let's start off. Your original name is Sammy Lopez, a.k.a. Sammy Zone, and you was born and raised in Manhattan, Lower East Side in New York City.
That's correct.
And you got the name Zone from your high school graffiti days.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Well. Actually, I mean, I was writing graffiti way before high school, of course. Yeah. But a friend of mine in school, in high school, basically, it was like the first day of school, and they do attendance. And my boy knew me as Zone. He swore my mother named me Zone. Oh. So all of a sudden, the teacher does attendance, and she's like, Samuel Lopez, are you here? Are you present? Sammy Lopez. And I'm like, yeah, I'm here. And he was like, oh my God, Sammy Zone. And that was it. Wow. It stuck. That was basically it stood, and it hasn't changed since. Wow. So I added him to Sammy, believe it or not.
Cool.
That's a nice way to get a nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Very interesting way. I'll never forget.
But I tell you what, though, Sammy Zone, that's just smooth. You know what I mean? It just flows. You know.
Yes, it does.
If you're gonna have a name, if you're gonna have a dope name, Sammy Zone is definitely something you'd like to have. So it just rolls off the tongue real nice.
Wow, yo, that's funny. It's funny that you say that because upon my comeback, someone had done a post. I'm gonna leave names unmentioned, but someone did a post, and they posted, "What are the worst freestyle artist names out there?" And Sammy Zone's name was all on that, and I was like, "What? Oh my God!"
No way.
Wow. It was so funny, and it was another artist. And we were but it was a joke. We were kind of joking back and forth.
Yeah.
And you know, I was kind of like pulling, you know, throwing shots at his name, and then we called each other up, and I was like, "You freaking sucker! You're funny, bro." I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "No, man. I swear, I thought I'd never ever speak to you." And he's like, "I had no clue that you'd be listening and watching." And I was like, I get it. But yeah, that's another interesting story.
Wow.
Definitely tell your boy that Sammy Zone's a dope name. So
yep,
it's official. It's a dope name.
Thank you, bro.
All right, next thing is you grew up as a DJ and a breakdancer. Tell us about that.
Oh wow! Oh my God! Everyone knows back in the early 80s, being a b-boy was wow. It was like a part of the whole thing, the whole movement. So you were either a breakdancer, a pop locker, a rhymer, a DJ, you know what I'm saying? Or you were just a bad boy wearing those the Tigre shirts or leather blazer or those sweatshirts with letters on it that said Playboy Crew or some corny thing like that. So, what I used to do is back in the day, I've always had this love and affinity for music. So I would take my mom's amps, and she would get pissed off. I'd put the speakers out the window, and I had a cassette, believe it or not, and I had my mother's turntable. So I bought this little tiny rinky-dink Gemini mixer, and I would do the worst unimaginable mixes on the planet, playing my little music loud out the window. And then I started getting really good at it. But that was at an early age. Wow. Oh my God. That was, wow. I would imagine 3rd grade, 1978.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's when I started DJing, and then of course the graffiti, and then the breakdancing, everything kind of all fell into, a place.
Yeah.
So it was all about, that whole thing.
Yeah. That's right.
Right. Exactly. And, and then all of a sudden, of course, you have an ear for music because you're a DJ. Yeah. And all of a sudden, everyone assumes that you can produce. And I'm like, no, I just like playing the music.
Yeah.
I like the beats. I had a little Casio keyboard, and I had a little Dr. Rhythm drum set, and a drum machine rather. Now I used to, when I was doing parties, I would create my own little beats, and I would play stupid, corny little things like, Inspect the Gadget, because that was the record that was out at the time.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah.
And it was
back in the day. I mean, I started, with the cassette decks. Like mixing, like making little mixtapes with different, taking a combination different tapes, and then making a separate tape out of. Basically making edits, because really that's really what you're doing, not really mixing at that time. But the concept was
awesome.
Make something, make something where you can, you put the tape on, you press play, and it's like, and all these different edits. Basically that's what, in my particular case, and of course, that's before I actually had any equipment to work with. And then, I went and got some, at a flea market, 2 different types of turntables, and got me, Pyramid mixer, shout out to Pyramid. And you learn, on vinyl, and, back then you learn as you go. And then I got me a Gemini stuff, kind of went from there, and then, CDs and et cetera, here we are today. But I know how it is, man. You start somewhere. You gotta create something. So I definitely feel you, man. I know how it is.
Oh yeah, dude. My 2 turntables were a horrible mix match. It was I'll never forget, an SLB 101 and an SLB 10. One was a straight arm, the other one was curved. They were old as hell. It was like, oh my God. Yeah. That was those were interesting times, bro. Those were great times, though. Believe it or not, I could never. I'm like, I love it. That was where all the inspiration came from,
Yeah. All right. Next thing, you were discovered by an A&R person from Atlantic Records. How was that?
That's real funny. So, I used to hang with Little Louis Vega at Heartthrobs.
Okay.
When he used to do the Devil's Nest, and then he started doing Heartthrobs. And I used to carry his crates. Me and my boys, we would carry crates for him all the time, and we'd go to Chelsea, Chelsea Diner or Moonstruck you know, a Moose York diner, and we'd eat afterwards. And I used to get these tapes that Louis would make. And I'll never forget, one of those tapes was Bad of the Heart by George Lamont.
Okay.
But it was a rough. It wasn't the original, the final. And I was hanging out in Brooklyn, and this dude comes up to me and he's like, "Yo, where you got that?" And I was like, you know, what you mean where I got that? Like, you know, I'm like, oh shoot, man, did I get Louis in trouble? And he was like, you ever heard of Loose Touch? I was like, no, not really. Mind you, I'm singing the song. And he was like, well, I happen to road manage them. My name is Luis Garcia. And he's like, yo, they're holding auditions. Why don't you come down? We're going to be at Roseland, and, you know, let's hook up. So I was like, wow, really? I mean, like, dance for somebody, a singer? I really wasn't too into, you know, wanting to do stuff like that. But everything kind of fell into its place. There's a lot of missing gaps, by the way, within that story.
Okay.
Because I was a part of an old freestyle group called Spirit Matter. And Fareed Abdallah and Andy Welsh. I love them to death.
Yeah.
They used to always try to push me. They were like, "Yo, come on stage with us, come on!" And I would jump on stage, and that was kind of like how I really got my feet in the business. And then all of a sudden, I meet Luis Garcia, and then it kind of transpired. And then from there, Fareed kept telling me, "Dude, you could sing." I was like, "No, I can't sing." He's like, "Yes, you could, bro. You should do it." And coincidentally, my friend who owned the limousine service, he chauffeured all of Hot 97 at the time. And he was in a meeting with somebody from Atlantic, and his name was Ken Carmasol. And he had me come upstairs, and he had me sing in front of Ken, and I was like really embarrassed.
Yeah.
And Ken was like, "I like this kid. Let's sign him." And I'm like, "Huh? What?" I was like, "Yo, what are you talking about?" And I had Janet Padlad as a producer. I had Patrick Adams, who was writing songs for me. I don't know if you know who Patrick Adams is. Patrick Adams is the guy. He's iconic within the hip hop world.
Okay.
Don't Sweat the Technique. All those R&B and Rakim songs.
Yeah.
So he wrote a couple of songs for us. Also, Janet Padlad was she was an old disco producer who had produced songs like Padlock and a whole bunch of other songs. And they were working with Miko, who had done the album, the soundtrack for Star Wars.
Yeah.
And, oh my God, what's his name? I forget his name. Oh Lord, he's going to kill me. Is it Michael Schwartz? Is it? I believe so. And Michael Schwartz forget about it. He's huge, millionaire. And I have no idea who these people are. I don't care. My whole thing is, I want to meet girls. I want to chill. I don't mind being famous. Why not?
Yeah.
I was a little afraid because I never thought I could sing, but that's really how I ended up going down that path of singing. It was, it was being at the right place, I guess, at the right time. It was kind of cool, though. It was really interesting. I look back now and I say to myself, man, I worked, with a lot of very interesting people that, you would have never imagined. I grew up with a lot of interesting people as well. And, I went to high school, at Julia Richmond, Mark Anthony was in my homeroom class for like 2-3 years straight.
Wow.
We had homeroom together, so I know Mark. I knew K7 from TKA back then. I knew Rob Bass, Lisa, Vanessa from La Girls. Fareed also went to Richmond. there were a lot of singers. Most of the guys from TKA. Yeah. So
it's crazy.
But it was kind of surreal, you know, because you don't look at. I mean, I didn't at that time. To me, it was like I didn't even know K's, you know, stage name. I knew him as Lou. Yo, Lou, what's up? Oh, yo, what's good? What's going on? And you know, I hope he doesn't get mad at me, but K's real name is Louis Sharp. And so, you know, everything kind of fell into its place because also K was also a part of a group that Andy Walsh and Fareed Abdallah had created way before TKA, and K was in that group. And this is the time that I knew Fareed. So, you know, we all go back. I mean, wow, we go way back. So, you know, it's just weird and you know, ironic how we all ended up rolling and rocking out together, you know, 30, almost 40 years later, you know?
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's cool.
Definitely amazing. Yeah, because, I mean, you got, like, and it's common, I mean, I don't want to say it's commonplace, but you know, it's a lot of you guys, you know, back in them days were, you know, I mean, you were just your average person, you know, I know this guy, I know that, like in your case, hey Lou, what's up, you know? And then who would have thought that, you know, all of you would branch out like this huge tree and everybody be, you know, have success in their own type of way. I mean, some of you guys just unbelievable success, but back then it was like, hey, what's up, man? That's my boy right there. You know, you go to school, you're probably handing out homework, you know, hey, ayúdame con esto que yo no entiendo la maestra, you know? You know
I wish it was like that. Our interactions were, yo, you gonna cut class? Yeah, I'm cutting gym. I'll meet you downstairs. I'll meet you in the B building. I'll meet you in the C building. We're gonna go outside and we're gonna chill. And we go out in the backyard and chill. Get chased by the school security guards.
Assistant
and they were
principal.
like, they used to call themselves G1 to G2. I'm going up staircase A. Check on staircase B. I hear noise, and you would hear the radios. It was real funny, but that was how we used to hang. That was it. That was it. It was just real funny, and we all used to look out for each other. You know, there were times I remember there was a pizzeria right around the corner from our school, and sometimes Mark would be like, "Yo, you got $1 because the slices were like $1." And if 50 cents more will get you a can of soda. So $2.50 gets you 2 slices and a can of soda. And we would treat each other, bro. It's you know, I mean, I can't make this up. I'm like, when Mark was broke, I used to buy that nigga pizza and I'd buy him lunch, and he'd do it for me when I was broke, and that was how we used to rock out. It was crazy. Yeah, man.
You and then you look at everybody now, it's like you can't, you know, it's just, that's what I'm saying. It's like, who would have thought, you know? Who would have thought?
Yeah. Oh, man, right? Yep. Wow. If I could only go back in time and tell myself, yo, listen, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to sing. And don't mess up, bro. Oh, my God. Lord have mercy. Life would have been completely different. Because you know, I feel like sometimes because, you know, when you're out of sight, you're out of mind, and you tend to get forgotten. And here I am, I'm telling you guys history of where I came from in music, starting from like 1986, 1987, so forth and so on. And mind you, that's not even half of the endeavors that I had been a part of. So mind you, if I would have stuck to it, I think people would have looked at me differently. But most of my peers that are considered like super acts, the super A acts, you know, they love and respect me all the same because they know they've been there. They saw me on my way up. They seen the struggles I went through. So, you know, as long as I have their respect to me, everything else doesn't matter. But a lot of the fans don't know. They're like, oh, Sammy Zone, he's new, right? And I'm like, no, I'm not new. I've been new I'm 54 years old. How could I be new?
Yeah.
I've been doing it for too long. Yeah, and I didn't start when I was 50. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some of these, not for nothing, yo, let's keep it real, right? Some freestyle artists say, yo, I want to do a record, man. I'm 50 and I want to, you know, I don't understand if that's a bucket list wish or,
check it off. Let me just check that off the list right here real quick.
Oh, right. I'm like, ay, Dios mío. Listen, you want to record a record? I remember you could go to Great Adventure and they had this little booth and you could do a video and everything and sing a song and they record. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So y'all should do that.
Yeah, you could sit there together and it'll be like snap. You put like a dollar, and then they come out on the outside. You pull the curtain, you come outside, and you got the little strip of the pictures, all the funny faces and stuff.
Yeah, dude, yo, but yeah, you know, it's really interesting though. But I love what I do, man. If I was getting paid G money, I'd love it. If I was getting paid $0, I'd love it the same. It just, and if you ask anybody else, of course, I'm sure their answers would be the same. You know, there's a love and passion for this music. You know, we've been doing it for so long that, you know, it's a part of us. So, you know, I mean, yeah, that's just it, you know.
And you know, people like us, you know, obviously we're not singers. In my case, DJ, and you know, Alex, you know, he produces the show and everything like that. He's, you know, DJ himself. But you know, we obviously, you know, in our case, that's why we're here. We you know, we grew up with that stuff too. We grew up with you know, with you guys, you know, listening to you guys, listening to you know, all the different artists and everything. That's why we now, you know, for however long it's been, you know, we enjoy being able to interview you guys and talk to you guys, because back in the days we didn't have any of this. You guys, and a lot of times you guys were almost mythological. And I'll tell you, and I know I speak for a lot of people when I say that, because you didn't have internet, you didn't have all these things. You couldn't just sit there and have a conversation with Sammy Zone. You couldn't do that. I mean, you'd be lucky if you heard them on the radio. You know, maybe they were
very inaccessible
back then. Very inaccessible. There was no Twitter. There was no Facebook. Hey, let me, you know, all of this stuff. It's nice. It's nice to be able to do that now. That's why we take advantage, and use those tools. Use these tools to be able to you know, talk to you guys and kind of, you know, kind of see your perspectives. Because believe me, we've talked to a lot of artists, new school, old school, and you know, everybody has an amazing story. I mean, if, you know, I don't know if you've heard any of the shows, but you go back and you listen to this one, that one, and everybody just has amazing stories, because you know, especially you guys have gone, you know, 20, 30, 40 years have been doing this. I mean, that's why I was telling you earlier, because a lot of the stories kind of coincide almost. You know, it's like, you know, we used to hang out this and this place and that place. Oh, I knew this one back then. You know, and who would have thought all you guys now are who you are? But you know, yeah, everybody has incredible stories. So we definitely appreciate when you guys come on and take time to interview with us, because we enjoyed your music growing up. And now we have the opportunity to kind of, you know, connect with you guys directly.
Well, I'm absolutely honored and thankful. I appreciate that. That's awesome. That's real nice for you to say.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we've kept a very mysterious mystique towards us. You know, in the past. Yeah. You know, everything like you were saying we were all inaccessible. If you were a freestyle singer or a wannabe freestyle singer, you couldn't go to Twitter or Facebook or Instagram and say, "Man, I want to reach out to Carlos Berrios or Chris Barbosa," because that was unheard of.
Yeah.
You had to know a friend of a friend of a friend that would hook you up, because that's how everything happened back then. Everything was just like, you know, and it was new. nobody, and I'm going to be completely honest, nobody knew what the hell they were doing.
Yeah.
Even the freestyle gods of music and production, in writing and in singing, none of us knew what we were doing. All we knew, it was feeling good, it was sounding good, and we were just going to pretty much, you know, vibe and meld with what we were doing and see where it went. And some went very, very, very far. Yeah. Others just, you know, they did what they did and then they said goodbye or whatever the case was. But, you know, that was what it was all about.
Levels. That's
right.
Yeah.
And that's why sometimes, you know, freestyle has its what they call one-hit wonders, and then, you know, what happened? Oh my God! Oh wow! Jesus! Yeah. Some of your one-hit wonders weren't one-hit wonders. Some of your one-hit wonders had 2-3 records, and only one was a big hit. Yeah. So that's why they ended up getting called one-hit wonder. Yeah. Hold on a second. Let me whip my dogs behind. Teddy, quiet. Go over there, buddy. He gets excited. He hears one hit wonder. Look at that. Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, man.
Yeah, you was accredited for 12 singles and EPs, man. That's incredible.
12 singles, that's it?
12 singles and EPs. So.
Okay. Yeah. So let me well, that I sang?
Yeah, that you sang, yeah. Apart from you producing stuff. Yeah.
Oh, that that does sound that sounds about right.
Yeah.
I'm you know what it is, my brain thinks differently, because when I write a song, I'm like, that's mine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
you probably have like 50 songs sitting in you know, unproduced, you know. So you're probably thinking, wait a second, I'm thinking 20, but I got like 50 still.
Yeah.
If you only knew, Carlos in his lab, you know, in his computer and his hard drive, he has, so many songs. When I worked with Tony Garcia, there were about 2 unreleased albums. There a lot. I mean, there's, and then that's not including the stuff that I've done under Non de Plumes and aliases.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, wow, if people only knew. Yeah. Like, should I get into that
let's get into it. Let me just get through here, and then that's going to lead into what you're going to talk about. You got started in the industry with High Power Records. So tell us that, and it leads into your stuff. So.
All right. So do you want the rated PG-13 version, or would you like the pornographic rated XXX version? Because you know what I'm saying. Like
we'll leave the pornographic rated XXX for the Blu-ray DVD extra bonus.
There you go. Right. Okay. So I'm gonna we'll keep it. Look, I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm not gonna say anything negative.
Okay.
You know, you guys see Harry Potter, right?
Yeah.
And there's a name in that movie that shall not be mentioned. Voldemort.
Yeah.
They do not say his name.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have a Voldemort that I worked with in, you know, in my earlier days, and he ran a label. And I don't mean to be so cruel, but you're gonna hate me because I tell you the truth, but you're never gonna hate me because I lie, because I don't lie. I tell you the truth. Sometimes the truth is sad, sometimes it hurts, but the truth is the truth, and you can't do anything else about it. It's a fact. You know, this is basically what it is. And when you ask Sammy Zone, or if you ask Peter Fontaine, or if you ask Little Susie, or any of Edie, or any of the other artists that were on High Power Records, they're all going to give you their stories.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you this. You have to look at it mathematically. Why is it none of us are still on the label, work with the label, cool with the label, or have any interactions with the label? you ask yourself that question, and that basically answers itself. My interactions with certain people weren't honestly, look, again, all that happened. Remember, we're talking about me being a part of Spirit Matter, me being signed to Atlantic Records. Mm-hmm. I wanted to make it badly. And I started a group called One on One. And I pulled my buddy NV, Noel Valet, and I made him, I put him in the group, and I was like, yo, it's going to be me and you, and, yeah, we're going to do this, and blah, blah, blah. And we were out there, we were hustling, and we were doing our thing. And we both sat down together, and, I don't know if N's going to give you a different story, but my story was, yo, what are we shooting for? Are we looking to be on, cutting? A sleeping bag, because, to me, back in those days, cutting and sleeping bag were the upper echelon of labels for freestyle, including Fever.
Yeah.
So, I was like, wow, I want to be a part of that. I don't want to be, and I love Mickey Garcia. Mickey's my bro. But I was like, I don't want to be on Mick Mac. I don't want to be on any of those other High Power or this or that. And I don't know. We had ended up doing a whole bunch of shows. I remember we did a show at Lemoore East, and Tony was there, and the original and one and only my good friend Ronaldo Gonzalez was there performing, and he was like, yo, you guys are bad. You guys should be on my label. And I would be like, yo, Ed, no. I was like, I know Tony. Tony lives on my block. His brother Mickey lives in my building. I'm like, yo, bro, now we don't want to mess with that. Let's stay away from that. Let's shoot, let's shoot for the gold, man. Come on. And during our course of trying to make it, Tony got in N's ear and ended up convincing N into wanting to be on High Power. And I was like, damn, bro, we're a group. I was like, if you're going to do it, then I'm going to do it. So we did it together. And when we ended up signing, Tony was very smart. Tony ended up signing us as individuals, not as a group. And he basically split us up. He split up One on One, and that's when Noel became Noel NV. And Sammy Zone was very angry, very mad. And I was like, wow, this is whack. You know what I'm saying? This is real whack. So here we are. It's like 1988, something like that, 87, 88. Like that. It was the end of 87, early 88, somewhere's in that mix. And actually, correct me. It was probably 88 because when I was a Spirit Matter, we dropped Betrayal in 88. So it was like in 88. And we recorded a couple of songs, Tony and I, but I was really mad. I was just angry, man. And I didn't like the way things were going. So Tony kind of put me on the shelf, and he focused on NV, and he pushed NV out. Then he, of course, he had Peter, he had NV, he had Edie, he had Eclipse, excuse me, he had Alvin Labasse, he had a couple of, there were a couple of groups on the label, but nothing pow, nothing stand out. There wasn't anything major on his label yet. He also had Ronaldo. And so I guess I don't want to speak for Ronaldo, but whatever reasons Ronaldo had for walking away, he walked away. And he walked away in the midst of the records finally taking off. And Tony calls me up and he's like, yo, promise, Sam. I swear to you, we're going to do an album. We're going to release all the songs. We're going to do this, but I need you to do me a favor. I need you to lay vocals on this album that I'm working for under Ronaldo. He goes, would you like to be Ronaldo? And I was like, no, absolutely not. I was like, I do not want to be Ronaldo. He hands me a contract, and in the contract, it's $1,000 per song, which was kind of ridiculous. It was dumb in my part. I should have asked for more. And I sang all the songs. I recorded an entire album. And in fact, I'll tell you, it was about 14 songs that I recorded. One of the songs that I recorded that I also wrote was a song titled "Take Me in Your Arms," who later ended up with Susie, and I ended up on the short end of the stick with that. And because, again, I was out of sight, out of mind, and, you know, uneducated with the business and being so angry, not caring, I ended up making a huge mistake and letting it go. But I wrote the damn song. It was supposed to be on the Ronaldo album. And, you know, again, we're working on Ronaldo album. We're working on Sammy Zone album. Everything all together. Remember, whatever wasn't going to work for the Ronaldo album was going to be on Sammy Zone's album. Then Tony and I ended up having another tiff, and I was just again angry, and I walked away. I was like, I don't want to have nothing to do with it. I'm like, I'm done. And we're talking about 1980, end of like 88, 89, something like that. I was just real tired, man. You know, I was tired of getting jerked around. It was ridiculous. And you know, I would notice every once in a while Tony would reach out to me, and me, like a sucker, I would end up going back because I had a relationship with the man. It wasn't just a business relationship. It was a friendship. We grew up together. Remember, we grew up in the same neighborhood. Yeah. So it was hard for me to say no every time he asked. And in all those years, you know, 89, boom, he'd release another record. Boom, 80, 90, he'd release another record. And I kind of got mad at him, and I was like, how come you never released a Sammy Zone record when we were supposed to do an album? We got into another fallout because of that. So I walk away completely. Jumping forward, 1995 comes, and again, Tony reaches out, and he's like, listen, I'm not going to lie to you. You know, let's make this happen. You know, that album that you did, I put it out as, you know, as Ronaldo, but I don't have a Ronaldo. I had my cousin, Walter Camacho, sing the songs, and that didn't work out. He goes, I'm working on a tour, and I'd love for you to go out to South America with me to perform. And I was like, I would do it, absolutely, under one condition, that it's not Ronaldo, that it's Sammy Zone. And he agreed on that. And he took all the records that I did as nom de plumes. I did records under different names for him. Of course, you knew Ronaldo. I ghost Eye to Eye Records. I ghost NV Records. I ghost Susie Records. I ghost a record called I Can't Understand It by Kenny C. That was me. I basically did all these records. Wow. And you know, I was like, yo, I'm going over there and I'm going to make sure that we all know who it is that's singing and performing. Sammy Zone. Yeah. So I went to Brazil. I went out there twice. I toured the Sammy Zone. I ended up singing the songs that I sang on the Ronaldo album and all my other songs. But, you know, it was kind of, you know, it was rough, man. Yeah. It was hard. It was hard. And any artist will tell you this, man, you know, to be acknowledged, all right, to be validated and to feel appreciated are some of the most important things in this business coming up. Yeah. All right, because nobody was making G money back then. Not Johnny O, not Cynthia, not Judy. Everybody was getting robbed, you know, crazy. So it was never about the money. What happened was we were doing so many shows that, yes, we were walking away with money, but we weren't walking away with big money. People like George Vascones was walking away with big money with with the labels and so forth and so on. The artists were getting a portion of whatever they were making, and that was basically it. And I hated it. I just couldn't stand it. So here I am, 95. I'm doing it again. Tony ends up wanting to release some songs in 2006 called. Wait, was it 2006 or 2008? I forgot, man. Forever Freestyle, que si, okay, blah blah blah. You know, and he put the Ronaldo songs that I sang on it, but titled them as Sammy Zone. You know, and I was still unhappy. I felt very unappreciated. I started asking about my publishing. I started asking questions because as time went by, I started educating myself, and I said, I'm not going to be a fool anymore. Yeah. When I go into this, I'm going to go into it with as much as I give, I'm going to get. And he didn't have the right answers, so I ended up walking away again. I think that was like 2006. I walked away from him, and I was like, finally, in my eyes, that was it.
must I hear these words? To love is show emotions, but one's not heard. Regretting times we spent only to realize those words that you told me turned out to be a lie. Why must she keep on saying you love me when you're playing? My heart is so confused and you're the reason why. It's true, you know I love you. I can't stop thinking of you. You don't know how I try, 'cause you keep living a lie. You don't know how hard I try. You can't see love when it's there, and when it's gone then you care. You keep on living a lie. Remember times that I cried from all the things that you do. I just can't stop loving you. You keep on living a lie. Living a lie, 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 living a lie.
And a good friend of mine named Legit was having a birthday party at this club called the Lemon Tree up in Queens. And, you know, I knew Legit when he was a part of Fast Forward with Nelson and Chunky. And, you know, that was my dude. And I was like, yo, he was like, yo, I like the song. Tony's been releasing a lot of the songs. You know that. I'm like, yeah, whatever. But he's like, yo, why don't you perform, man, for my birthday? And I'm like, you serious? He's like, yeah, I'd love to have you. So I go, I bring my two dancers that I've been with for years. Mm-hmm. I perform at the Lemon Tree, and who happened to be there was Carlos Berrios. And he was there with C-Bank. And, bro, I was so excited. I was happy as forget about it. And Carlos and I started having conversations and exchanged numbers. And literally, I harassed that man for about a whole year until he finally called me. Now, Carlos had no idea I was a singer. Carlos thought I was just into production and writing.
Yeah.
And so he calls me up, and he's like, yo, I'm working on this, you know, some Lisette Melendez tracks, and I'd like to see what you could come up with. And that in that first sitting, I wrote a couple of songs, but the one that stood out the most was Without You. And it wasn't even going to be for me. It was going to be for Lisette Melendez. And when Carlos sat back and heard it, he was like, I had no idea you could sing. He's like, I didn't know that you were a singer. I thought you were just a writer. And Carlos was like, no, bro, we're going to release this. And, you know, we're going to put it out. And that created the beginning of an amazing friendship, a partnership that I will forever be indebted and grateful to Mr. Barrios for revitalizing me, revigorating me, and giving me a name and a voice and a business at that time that would be very difficult to do. If you didn't have the hits back in the 80s, forget about 2000. You ain't going to make it. There's no way you're going to come into this game and you're going to do concerts and you're going to be on that big stage. It just ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
Carlos Barrios was that one piece that helped me get there, aside, of course, with Sal Abatello, because between them two, their beliefs in me and our friendships have persevered throughout the years, where I've been able to do so much. I mean, I can't even, bro. I can't explain how grateful and humble I am for every opportunity that has fallen on my lap. But I'm gonna say this, and I don't mean to sound like a jerk. I worked for it. It wasn't given to me. I broke my back, blood, sweat, and tears. I did everything and anything I could possibly do to continue and to keep going on and to keep doing what I've been doing through no matter what. Let me tell you, bro, when Sal and I got together, Sal basically said, Sammy, I love you. You're a great kid. You're a nice guy. He goes, you have real nice songs, music, beautiful. They're not hits. He says, how do I know you're going to bring a crowd to my clubs? He's like, I'm doing what's the hall, Sammy. Sell 25 tickets. If you sell 25 tickets, I'll put you on the show. I sold 50 tickets, and he put me on the show. Wow. He did it again the following year. What's the hall? Boom.
Nice.
I sold like 150. Then we did the Copa. Then it was 350 tickets. Then, it got to the point where Sal was like, bro, you're making more money than the artists that I'm paying. He's like, I'm going to have to start paying you. All right? Forget about selling tickets, because I was getting a commission off the sales. And he was like, we're going to stop that. And we're going to pay you we're going to give you regular pay now, right? Because I want you to help, though. I want you to continue to help us promote. Do you mind? I was like, nope, I don't mind. But you see, I went and I did what everyone in this business has been afraid to do. People with their egos feel as if they're too big, or why should I? I have a great song, and I'm going to tell you why. You feel in your heart you have a great song. And those 25 people on Facebook that cheer you on constantly feel you have a great song. But when you stand in front of a crowd of over 5,000-6,000 people, and you sing that song, and they're looking at you like, what are you doing here, bro? Get the hell off the stage, because I don't know your song. I want to hear the hits. You got to work it. You got to make them want to sing. Bro, when I was selling them tickets, you know what I was doing? I was giving CDs of my songs to the people that were buying tickets. And I kept telling them, yo, man, don't forget, man, when I perform, please, listen to this. You're going to love it. I want you to sing along. And, I did anything and everything I could do to make myself or help myself get to where I'm at right now. So, again, it was not handed to me. Nobody said, hey, come on in, Sam. Sure, we're going to give you $1,500 and, whatever you need, we got you. No, it didn't start like that. It did not start like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I had to work for it.
Time goes by and I cannot live without you, without you. Days go by and I cannot live without you, without you.
absolutely. And I'm still working for it.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
it doesn't
definitely,
stop.
definitely. When you have a song on the countdown for what 67 weeks in a row,
No, it was,
yeah,
wow. It was actually
something like that.
Yeah, 67 weeks. Yeah, man.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh, a record.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Let me tell you. So I'm in the car with my boy Edgar and we're driving. I'm feeling myself. It's a good day. It's a happy day. Happy, sunny. I just bought myself a new iPhone. I'm feeling good. And Carlos calls me. Yo, Sam, what's good? And I'm like, yo, what's up, Carlos? Now, Frank Reyes is a good friend of mine as well. And for those of you who do not know who Frank is, let me enlighten you. Frank Reyes is the guy who wrote Together Forever, A Day in My Life, Temptation, so forth and so on. He's written for Luis Fonsi. He's written for La India. He's written for the biggest and best in the business. Not only has he done that, but he directed Illegal Tender with John Leguizamo, Empire. He's an amazing screenwriter, director. He is a great friend, an amazing writer. He is he's a part of a dying breed that you don't see anymore. When it comes to Frank's writing, it's like no other. Yeah. So now that we know who Frank Reyes is, everybody, Carlos is calling me up with Frank, and Frank and Carlos are joking with me, and we're talking back and forth, and Frank is retired, mind you. At this time, he's like, "Yo, this is the tail end off of Illegal Tender." He's like, "Man, freestyle, I ain't gonna do no freestyle. You crazy? Like, I do movies. He's Hollywood." And then Carlos tells me, "Yo, guess what? I want you to hear something." And it was a real rough demo of Frank singing "Believe in Love" with his business partner, Lisa Nanzelli. And I was like, "Yo, that's bad." He's like, "I'm glad you like it because we wrote it for you." And I'm like,
Nice.
Bro, you just can't understand. When I heard that, I'm a grown man. The man brought me to tears. I cried because I couldn't believe that someone with so much respect, notoriety in this business would do something like that for me. I'm like, who am I? You got hundreds and hundreds of artists you could pick and choose from. And that record, wow, meant so much to me that I don't know if you really listen to the vocal that I laid out on that song, but I was having a real bad day. And I go to Carlos's and I put my heart and soul into singing that song. And Carlos and Frank were there and they were like, wow. It was, it's hands down, it's the best song I've ever recorded in my entire career. And I have a couple of songs that I feel I truly am proud of. Without You. In fact, all the songs I've done with Barrios, I just forget about it. But when I did Believe in Love it came from a different place. And it was, wow. It just touched me. Yeah. So
Definitely
those 67 weeks, I would have never been able to do that without Carlos and Frank.
Yes.
Frank and Carlos are the reason why this song was such a success. Not because of me, because of them. What they did, my director producer, all right, he brought the best Sammy Zone out of me for those songs. And Frank lyrically wrote something so amazing that I still I listen to the words and I try to wrap it around my brain and I'm like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. I mean, like, what else? What else can you say about that? You know what I'm saying?
And that's one of the. I'm telling you, that song is to me one of the best songs in freestyle music. Really.
Yeah.
I mean, you could really you could take it outside of the freestyle genre and put it, you know, in mainstream, and get the kind of reaction that you know that you get on freestyle. You know, I don't know to what level, you know, you guys promote it in and whatnot, but you know, it's definitely something that could be out in the mainstream radio, and it's like people listen to be like, whoa, what's that? Who's singing that? You know, it's like it could definitely. I mean, it's that. I mean, it'll rival anything in freestyle now. Back in the 80s, 90s, it'll rival anything.
Yes.
Production, vocals.
Wow.
I mean, bro, I'm telling you, we're not saying it because you're on here, man. You were on for 67 weeks, and we didn't. That wasn't us doing that. That was the voting.
That was the
voting.
fans, though. Yeah, the fans. Yeah.
Between fans, DJs, and fans, DJs, and producers voting on these songs. Not me. This ain't me. This ain't Angelo when he was with us, or Alex. We just come on radio and we talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, this is everybody else.
I think this is a record that's probably still going to be around. We dropped it right when we dropped it with COVID. It's the COVID record, basically. And that's basically what happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's the COVID record, but I'm going to tell you, all right, I go to Spotify and running, my record. I have a record called The Running Redux.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
The
that's
Running Redux.
right behind it.
That
That
was
was
good,
right behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
The
I'll tell
Running
you what,
Redux
before you
has
continue,
over.
Sammy, just
Yeah.
before I let me, you gave me a drop. You when the
Oh, wow.
for the Running Redux a few years back when it came out, we did the end of the year trivia mix, and it's in I think the 2019 trivia mix, 2018, I can't remember, but yeah, you gave me a drop for that, so just so you know.
Oh my God! Wow.
And it's in the mix. I dropped the drop in the mix while I was doing it, so you're more than welcome to hear it anytime.
Yeah, yo, I love it.
So, Sammy, Sammy, about the original version of Running, how did you get together with Freddie, the edit, man? Rest in peace with him. Did you guys get to do that project before Carlos took it over?
No. Carlos originally started the project.
Okay.
This is how it started.
All right.
Carlos originally started, he did the project.
Okay.
And then Carlos was overwhelmed with work and having nothing to do with music. It was all movies.
Mm-hmm.
So Carlos was like, I'm taking a step back. Sam, I'm giving you your freedom. He's like, I'm going to let you do what you do. And he called Fred the Ed.
Okay.
And he said, Fred, you're the only guy that I would believe that would be able to pull something off. He goes, Sammy's been, because I was performing Carlos's version of Running, but to a certain degree, I was very scared, real nervous.
Yeah.
Freddie heard it, and Freddie did an amazing job.
Yes.
He did an amazing mix. I loved it.
Yeah.
And that's basically how that happened. Carlos basically passed the torch to Fred the edit, and it was wow. Freddie, Freddie was one of the most hardest working dudes, man. He was another guy that I would honestly have to say was underappreciated, underacknowledged, and he was such a great soul, man. His heart was so big, if anybody knew Fred the Edit was that guy, man. He was a beautiful person.
Yeah.
And he worked with me on a couple of projects. We worked together on some things, and every time we worked together, it was always, it was really good stuff. It was, very powerful, very emotional. But it was Carlos passing the torch over to Fred that ended up, we ended up releasing a version of Fred's before my version with Carlos. Mind you, Carlos was the original producer of the song.
Okay.
So we flash forward, Carlos, he's retired. He's like, I'm done, bro. I ain't doing no music. And I pull up a couple of videos of me performing at some of the venues. And I show him and I go, look. And he's like, wow. They really, really like it. And I was like, Barrios, imagine if you would have finished it. He was like, And I got in his head. I got in Barrios' head. And Barrios finally had some time. And he said, listen, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it right. And we're going to make this your song. When people hear this song, they're not going to think Information Society anymore. They're going to think of Sammy Zone. Now, how can we do that?
Yep.
So, in order for me to make it my song, I had to lyrically add this, add that. Because remember, in the beginning of my version, you hear me talking.
Yeah.
That's me explaining basically what the meaning of running is over a phone call.
Yeah.
And that we added that in. We have George Lamont singing, I'm searching, babe, I'm running. And we have Kay doing his rap. And then we have, C-Bank doing her part. And then I called my boy, Angel Ramirez from the Barrio Boys. And I was like, yo, bro, I let him hear the song. And he was like, yo, what would be good? Yo, if you did it in Spanish. And Angel wrote the song, rewrote it in Spanish, and these are things you need to have clearance for. You can't just do that. You can't do it on the fly. You know what I'm saying? So we had to get clearance to do a lot of these things. We got it. We released it, and now the Running Redux has over 1.5 million Spotify streams.
Wow. Wow.
Which is unprecedented for a new freestyle song, basically. But not to mention, not to mention though, listen, Believe in Love. Believe in Love is on the rise, bro. It's on the rise. Because of COVID, of course, like I said, it prevented us from really, really going out there and doing our thing. But I believe we're at 330,000 streams on Spotify.
Nice.
But the difference is, look, okay, and I'm not knocking anybody's hustle or game. Whatever works for you works for you. But my thing ain't to go off and every week start posting numbers and saying this and saying that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that guy to go and say, hey, look, I got 1.5 billion streams. I got 300. That's not what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to express is how much
trying to make a point.
The people, right? People have gravitated to the song at the worst times, and how accepted is the Running Redux is. It speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Because people were telling me, why would you do that? How could you do that? What's wrong with you? Oh, that's horrible. Why, this, blah, blah. I got a lot of, and then I got a lot of, really, complimentary things. But there were a lot of people that just didn't agree with it. And I respect that. But those of you that don't know the story of Information Society need to do your homework.
Yeah.
So there's a person, the lead singer right now, Paul Robb. He sings leads. He does all their songs. Guy with long hair, very interesting character, right?
Yeah.
He's not the original singer of Running. And Connor Murat is the original singer. He was in Information Society. He wrote the song. He left the group in 1984, 85, right before the song popped. So, I just want to, and I'm saying it here on your show, I was going to save this for me because I wanted to do a whole tutorial. I might do it anyway, but, Connor Murat is the original singer, and he's never, ever performed it. And you have someone else who's singing his song, but because they're a part of the same group, it's accepted. So my point being is, don't knock me for singing the song because I got clearance to do it from Connor. Well, I've got the licensing to do it. I reinvigorated that song, added so many new twists to it, and had Angel Ramirez write a Spanish version. Yeah. How much more can I make that mine? I try to go above and beyond to make it a Sammy Zone, a special Sammy Zone song. And mind you, it's not called Running. It's called the Running Redux.
Yeah.
The Running Redux.
Or Running Redux, right. So I'm not trying to be Information Society. I'm not trying to take their clout or fame or ride their wave. I admired the song so much. I thought it was an amazing song.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
That iconic. That I loved it so much that I thought it would be a nice song to do.
You sprinkled a little sazon over it,
Yeah.
Right. It was like Yeah. So Connor's probably German, and imagine if he would have been Puerto Rican. Basically, that's it.
Yeah.
I sprinkled that exactly what you just said. That ricao and the sofrito and a little bit of sazon with adobo on it. And that was it. That's what I tried to do. I didn't want to steer
And you
too
did.
far away.
And you did.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I didn't want to steer too far away on how to sing the song because people are used to a certain way.
Yeah.
All right. And I wanted to keep it close to the original, but add special little additives. And you know, that's it. So, you know, so far, that's kind of like what I've been going through with musically. It's so difficult, man, with COVID. COVID has really been, forget it.
Yeah.
Like a pimple on my ass, bro.
I'm running from the past and I can't change the hands of time. There's no more turning back 'cause I know I'm gonna make you mine. I'm running from the truth, but I don't wanna lose my faith. Now I'm running back to you 'cause I know I made a big mistake.
I played the fool time after time. Ignored all the signs. Even when they told me, I refused to believe it. 'Cause I was so caught up into you. I was blinded. But now I can see things clear. We both know it was never me. But we'll play a game. And I'll let you see who's running back to who.
Hot, steamy night
were the best that I had. Now I miss your face. Stuck in this place, trying to keep up the pace. What could I do? Lost without you. Love won't fit if it's not true. Some way, somehow, we'll work it out.
I'll never leave you
now. Every little movement, every little itty bitty thing you're doing. Every word said, every point proven. Race for the chance to keep this love grooving. Look how I react. Fighting for this love to stay intact. Come on.
I'll come back and find you. I'll never leave you now. I'm running from the past and I can't change the hands of time. There's no more turning back 'cause I know I'm gonna make you mine. I'm running from the truth, but I don't wanna lose my faith. Now I'm running back to you 'cause I know I made a big mistake.
Yeah, let's talk about Willie Valentine. How you got to work with him with the song Anything?
Well, me and Willie were friends for many years. Not too many people know. So, when he was doing One True Love Affair and all those songs, I was basically hanging out in his house, bugging out with him. And he was like, yo, I want you to sing backgrounds. And I was supposed to sing backgrounds for Willie. I never got the chance to because my grandmother was flying in from Puerto Rico and I couldn't make the studio session. But I'm glad I didn't get to sing on those records because Willie did a superb job with those records. So my relationship with Willie Valentine, we've been friends for several years. Willie would call me every once in a while. And he's like, yeah, well, what you doing? I got a couple of songs. I got a couple of beats. I don't know if you're doing anything. Come over and see if you can write something dope to it. So I wrote George Anthony's comeback song, which is, which one? What the hell? Is it called If Only? Is that? Gosh, because I wrote so many. This is the thing. You got to excuse me. I wrote for Pose. I wrote for Freeze. I wrote for George Anthony. I wrote for Willie. And I did backgrounds on a lot of these songs for Willie. So while we were doing that, Willie pulls up a beat. And I had a song already written, which was titled Anything. And Willie was like, let's do it. So we did it. And we let it sit on the shelf for a long time. Wow. I mean, for a long time. Dude, for years. And, you know, Willie decided to call me one day and he was like, yo, there's this kid named Jay Adams, man. He's up and coming. He has this one song out. But he produces. He says, you know, I think we should give him a chance and let him produce it. And I'm like, really? You don't want to put out your version? He's like, nah, let's go. Let's reach out to him and, let's see what he comes up with. And I was a real big pain in the ass to Mr. Jay Adams because, I'm a perfectionist. I'm not super like a Carlos Berrios perfectionist, but I wanted it a certain way. So I would basically be like, "Yo, no, you got to do this. I want the drums here. I want to drop there. I want this to build up." And basically, sitting down with Jay, guiding him and telling him, what I wanted. We ended up with the song called Anything, and that was one of Jay Allen's first songs. Other than his song that he produced, and we released it, and I wanted to do something special, and I called George Lamont, I called Suave, and I called K7. I said, yo, I'm going to shoot a video. I'd love for you guys to come out in it. Would you guys be interested? And they were like, hell yeah, let's go. Let's do it. Let's have some fun. And it came through. We shot the video. We released the song. And the song, unbelievably, did super well.
Yeah.
People took to that song. They loved the video. It just got a lot of love and praises, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really happy. I was real grateful that I had that opportunity, that I worked with Willie. I ended up working with Jay Allams. And then Jay Allams, after he did anything, he ends up doing an album for George Anthony and so forth and so on. And, you know, he's come a long way, man. You know, and but that was all Willie. That was all Willie Valentine's doing, man. That was all Will's, man. But Willie and I have been friends for a very long time. We have a lot of history, so yeah, that's pretty interesting. But yeah, that's how that project came about.
Awesome.
What's up, babe?
What's up, baby? Salud. Cheers.
Salud. Cheers. So what's up with me today?
I got a couple of cool things planned out for my beautiful honey. So we're going to have a really good time. We're going to spend some quality time with each other. Looking forward to it. Hold on, baby. Hello? Okay, I got you.
Who's that?
You know the guys, they don't always come in. You know, they're actually all in town today. They came by to see me.
What?
Yeah. Well, I promise you this much. I won't.
Whatever, Sam.
Yo, G.
Yeah.
Call him. Yo, Sammy. We're here.
So we're gonna play the video of the award that we sent you. You know, people are gonna be
Oh my
surprised.
God.
You know, so we're gonna play it. And
Listen,
go ahead.
Listen.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest.
Yeah.
You guys, there's a story behind that, presenting that video to me.
Okay, go ahead.
And so Carlos calls me up and he says, "Yo, like, what's up?" It's like, "We're gonna have a meeting." I'm like, "We're gonna have a meeting?" He says, "Yeah, I got some news I want to tell you guys. So I need you to come over to my house." I'm like, "Carlos, I don't want to hear bad news, Carlos. No. Just come over to the crib. We're gonna have dinner. It's gonna be me, you, my wife, C-Bank and her husband." And I'm like, "Carlos, are you sure?" He's like, "Sammy, just come." Okay. So I go, and we're sitting down, we're having dinner, we're having, a little bit of wine, everything is good.
Yeah.
And he hands me this box. And when I tell you, you'll see. Basically, Carlos's wife, you'll hear her in the video. She was like, "Sammy, don't cry." Because I was so surprised. I was so taken back. I couldn't believe it. And I was also speechless by what you guys did. And I truly am grateful for the acknowledgement, the validation, and the love as an artist and as a friend. Noel, Alex, Angelo, and if I'm missing anyone, I'm sorry, but all you guys, I genuinely from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate what you guys did. And it couldn't have come at a better time,
Wow.
Yeah, look, not for nothing. We're we have to talk about the elephant in the room. I do have cancer.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to be able to do this for a long time. I'm going to at some point I have to stop because I'm not going to be able to do it. Not because I want to stop. It's just I'm not going to be able to. And I don't want to get too into, the whole cancer thing. Listen, believe me, I'm not trying to pull anybody heartstrings. I'm just being completely honest. I'm not doing no GoFundMe, guys. There ain't no GoFundMe and there ain't no fundraisers. It's just the fact of life. We're here, we live our life, and then we pass on. While I'm here, I just want to love the people that love me, and I want to appreciate the people that appreciate me. And with that award that you guys gave me, I genuinely appreciate and love you guys for what you guys did. And I thank you. Again, I thank you.
You're more than welcome, man. And you guys, yourself and, C-Bank and Carlos, you guys did.
Yeah, you guys deserved it. It was a masterpiece.
On that song.
Yeah,
masterpiece. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah,
that's the way. That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
And after something like the Running Redux, which in itself was quite a masterpiece.
Yeah.
You come back and you top it. It really is. Like Alex said, it's quite a masterpiece, and it stayed on the countdown for us for 67 weeks. To be, I'm precise.
Yeah, 67 weeks.
And who knows? It could have continued on even more. Probably. I think it could have, Alex. I think what we did was
we retired the song because it was going further on. Yeah, so yeah.
And that's the thing. So that's the thing. That's the thing, Sandy. It would have still been on the countdown.
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah.
I know 67 is kind of an arbitrary number, I think, but we got to a point where we said, well, you know what? We have to do something about this because. Not in a bad way, we have to acknowledge this because, I mean, so if you really think about it, Sammy, we pulled it at 67. We retired it. That song could have easily, who knows? He probably could have still been on the countdown. To this day. You know, I mean, and so maybe in a way, in a sense, we kind of, I don't know, maybe we could have let it go a little longer, but because it was so long on there, and it was like, we have to acknowledge it. We wanted to acknowledge it, now rather than later. I think it all kind of worked out the way it did. It wasn't like any particular reason for this reason or that, because we just we look at songs every week and we talk about them and we go over things and go over the numbers and go whatever. And it was just one of those things. It was like, wow, this is amazing. We got to do something now. We can retire the song, knowing that the song could have kept going. It really could have. So just know, Sammy, it wasn't that your song only was on the countdown for 67. We retired it at 67.
That's right. Yeah.
On our end, that was powerful.
Yeah.
So the song could have possibly to this day. Possibly to this
day. And there goes to show you guys. I've been we all know that the internet is vast and huge, and everybody has a show and so forth and so on, right? To be acknowledged from you guys is very important and very special to me. But that song has been overlooked by so many other people that have shows. So many other shows that it's been so overlooked and underrated, and I feel like, oh my God, they saw what I saw. You guys were the only ones that did what you did for that song that rightfully, not because it's my song, but that it rightfully deserved its place somewhere in that history line, and I'm like, wow, they saw it. They saw what I saw, and that's really what makes it even more special to me.
Yeah.
It's not like I got 20,000 awards and from different people, and because nobody acknowledged it, nobody cared, nobody looked at the work that we put into except for you guys, and that's why I'm like, wow. I know I haven't said this much, but for those of you that are looking and listening, I don't do interviews. I rarely do them. I just, wow. Not because I don't want to. It's just, what am I going to say? There's some, like, okay, how many times have you seen the interviews from George Zalman or Johnny O?
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's just, that's just the way it is. It's not because there's a loss of love for the music or showing, support to those who support us. It's just that, I haven't really been super into doing the interviews, but I had to do this one. I really did. I had to do it. I think it was very important. Again, the cancer, I get real tired. I get real achy. I get real sick. I can't even explain, but it becomes difficult. And, but this is something I felt that had to be done and shown appreciation towards. Your Extreme Mix Radio team is a massive group of amazing people that I love and I appreciate.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. And your work. It's your work is what was spoke. It's a masterpiece. And again, we for those tuning in now, we pulled it at 67. It wasn't. It was still pretty healthy on the countdown. I think that song probably was still in the top 10 when we pulled it, Alex.
Yeah.
If I recall.
Overall, with your career as a singer, songwriter, and producer, You deserve this award.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you guys. I'm speechless. Thank you so much, guys. I really do appreciate it. You know, I look back at my relationship with Lex, and I don't remember what our first interactions were, but I know the song that was behind that interaction.
That was the Without You song. Yeah.
Without You.
Yeah.
Without You, which was the beginning of wow, of the rebirth of what I've been doing.
Yeah.
And just to know that you've been there, Alex, to witness that. You saw from that moment forth to where we're at right now, which is somewhere like probably about 12, 13, I don't know. How many years has it been?
I think it's been since
2008.
2008, yeah.
So since like 2008, you figure, oh my God, 15 years?
Yeah, something like that.
That's how old Without You is 15 years old.
Yeah.
Some of us have kids that are about that age.
Yes, yeah.
I have a song that's new in my eyes that's 15 years old. In my eyes, Without You is still new. Because certain places I go to and certain people I play for, they're like, yo, where in the world was this? Oh my God, and I never heard it before, and oh, this is dope.
Yeah.
And I get that all over again, and it's 15 years old.
Yeah.
Oh man, 15 years. And that's how long you and I have had an amazing friendship, Alex.
Yes.
Wow. That's, wow. Man, oh wow. Yo. Yeah. But I do appreciate it. And yeah, you know, I don't know if I was able to cover everything, unless if you know anything else you'd like to ask. I don't know.
No,
anything off the top?
No, you got everything covered. You covered everything with Tony Garcia. We didn't have to mention anymore, so it was good. You know, so it was great.
Right. So we did pretty good then, I think, huh? All you guys got to do is you put a picture of my face. I'm looking horrible. That's what it is. Yeah. My skin is very pale. I'm real weak, and I'm laid out right now. That's why, you know, I'm not feeling well. I've been sick, honestly. I did a show last weekend at Mulcahy's, and everybody will tell you, bro, I was sick like a dog.
Wow.
I was so sick, I almost had to cancel the show, and they rushed me to the hospital afterwards. It was bad, man. You know, this ain't no joke.
Yeah,
this ain't no joke. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not like one of them niggas that, you know, he has an ingrown toenail and motherfuckers want to do GoFundMe's for $5,000 right away. Oh, look at me, I'm dying, my toe broken. Oh, yeah, I'm not into that. You know what I'm saying? I'm that dude that I don't like showing my weakness. You know, I don't want to show I'm weak to anybody. I want to keep that same level of energy going, so that way at the shows people could feel good about it, man. You know, so it's a little tough, but yeah, you know, that's the only reason why I haven't been able to go on video. By the way, yeah, I look like crap.
Yeah, understandable. Man.
The important part is that you're here with us, and you know, whether on video, whether on audio, you know, on the phone, whatever. The important thing is that you're here. That's the important.
That's it,
you know, as long as the people get to hear you, that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, I'm thankful, guys. I'm really thankful, and well, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys taking out the time. And mi hermanos, who is that saying? Your listeners, to take care and to continue being as supportive as you guys. And thanks, man. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Boy, okay, so Sam, this box came with your name on it for you. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Oh, wow. Here. You know what? Hold on. You may need to open it.
Oh boy. What are y'all all up to? Oh my gosh.
Take a few dozen roses. That.
Oh, that'd be nice.
They got the black version of this.
Right? Holy guacamole! Wow.
Whatever it is, you open it and when you take it out, you spin it.
The butterfly's gonna come out.
I know, right? Yeah.
Whatever it is, you gotta do the burial spin.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's awesome. Let's take the spin over here. Oh, what is this?
Peanuts! Exactly what I always wanted. Holy smokes! Hold on. What do we have? Ooh, this is heavy. Holy shit!
Wow.
What the heck is this, man? Oh, what are you guys doing, man? Oh boy. Here we go. Oh my lord.
Ooh. What? Oh wow. What did you say?
God. No way.
Oh God, that's beautiful.
From Angelo Miceli and DJ Lex.
No.
Music Lovers Radio, Freestyle Lovers Radio. What does it say?
Oh my God.
Wow.
You know they were talking about that song being like in the train.
Wait, it says, can you read it?
Can you? Cause
oh
you
God,
know,
be careful. Let's present Freestyle Spotlight, the People's Countdown. DJ Lex, Angelo, DJ Noel, Nice Award, Sammy Zone, Carlos Barrios versus Sammy Zone, Believe in Love, featuring C-Bank. Producer by Carlos Barrios, lyrics and melody by Frank Reyes. 2020 to 2021. 67 weeks on the countdown. Whoa!
Nobody's gonna beat that record, brother. I'm gonna tell you right now. No one's gonna beat
Wow,
that
that's awesome.
That's so
Congratulations, guys.
Oh my God, this is real touching, man. I can't. Wow. I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. This is
What you?
yeah, completely off guard. I don't want to cry. So I've cried so much this week, right, babe?
You did cry. You're on film. You're on film.
You're good.
Wow.
But
7 weeks, man. Let's see who tops that.
thank you. I don't even know what else to say, but thank you, man. This is such a wow.
You deserve it, Sam. That's awesome.
You're listening to Stream Mix Radio, the worldwide rock station.
CFMAM Productions.
Blah, 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 blah. Oh, man. Radio has gotten boring.
Don't worry, we have a procedure for these situations.
Hey! Let's go! Let's go!
Music Lovers Radio and Freestyle Lovers Radio. Radio stations bringing back the fun.
You may take a break. Not us. We never take a break. We're always on.
MiamiMikeRadio.com. Music 24/7. You're in the mix. In the mix. On Classic 407. 407. Banging all the hits.
FM.
You're listening to Vibe 24/7.
24/7.
Banging all the hits you love. Feel the vibe.
LMC Radio, playing music to touch your heart, and your mind to make you feel good. Powerhouse Radio, your music, your flavor.
FreestyleForever.com.
Latino 407, la emisora donde vive el corazón de nuestra gente.